to Seattle, Washington. It's the WAC Handball facility. Handball heaven is what I like to call this place. It is the show court with Luis Moreno wearing his yellow jersey, showing that off just a little bit here in front of Sean Lenning. It is the finals of the Players' Championship, brought to you by Simple Green and the World Players of Handball, streaming live at racefor8.com. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside broadcast partner David Fink for the men's finals. Let's really quickly now go down to the show court where Fred Lewis is standing courtside with the two players, and I believe the CEO of the WAC, Chuck Nelson, former NFL kicker. Let's go down to Fred Lewis, who is going to make that announcement right now. Fred Lewis is turning on his microphone, and here's the announcement.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the very last time this year, we are live. Before I introduce the players, we have a very special treat. We have a very special guest. Spent 6 years with the Seattle Opera, and tonight he's here to sing our national anthem. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Steve Kennedy.
Steve's a professional. Hands on your hearts.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's right. That is right. That's the way it's done. You think that these players are feeling the energy, Dave Fink? They certainly are. Let's go back down to the floor where Fred Lewis is with the players right now as the announcements continue.
Wow. That's hard to top, ladies and gentlemen. But from a handball perspective, it doesn't get any better than this. What we are about to witness is number one and number two. They're good friends, they're training partners, they're double partners. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the contestants. To my right, he's currently ranked number 2 on the WPH Race for 8 Pro Tour. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighs 200 pounds. He's from Shoreline, Washington. Let's have a big hand for Sean the Freak Lenning.
That's right.
His opponent, currently from Tucson, Arizona. He was born in Sonora, Mexico. He's currently the #1 ranked player on the WPH Race for 8 Pro Tour. He is 24 years old. He stands 5 feet 11. He weighs 175 pounds. Let's have a big hand for Luis, the natural Moreno.
There it is. Crowd likes Luis too. That's right.
The other thing I need to mention is that the Race for 8 team championship is on the line. If in the event that Sean wins this match, Seattle will win the team championship. If Luis wins, then the championship goes to the Idaho Spuds. Jay Plummer, are you listening? Okay, referee for this match is the future Hall of Famer. Let's have a big hand for John Bike.
They like him now. They might not like him later.
Okay, Dave and Dave, back to you.
That's the great Fred Lewis. 6 national championships, and he's courtside. Giving the announcements to the players, and the referee is John Bike. They'll be playing 2 games to 15, breaker to 11. There'll be 3-minute timeouts between these games. Both of these 2 players have matched up throughout the season, and Luis Moreno has won every single one of those matchups. In the booth here, it's Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. Dave, what is Sean going to have to do in order to finally get a win against Luis Moreno? We saw earlier on an actual interview where he said it's just really in his head that he's a friend of his and he just needs to overcome that somehow.
I think Sean needs to break through that mental barrier that he's developed this season against Luis Moreno. It's been a couple of years since Sean has defeated Luis Moreno. Luis actually Sean's student at one time, Dave, circa 2008, when Luis made that amazing jump, defeating Paul Brady. Since then, they've been pretty much equals. Sean has the game to beat Luis. If he can make his shots and believe in himself, Sean will have a very good chance to win this match.
Sean Lenning wearing his WAC handball gear as he gets ready for this first rally, and he gets that point, and the crowd's going to love that. Sean Lenning, just like yourself, Dave, was asked to go to the pro shop here on the 6th floor. You walk in there, and they give you carte blanche to let you buy for free, actually. Gave you Washington Athletic Club clothing because you're on Team WAC. That must have been a nice feeling. Get some more free swag.
Great serve from Sean Lenning. That's a second serve ace. Very frustrating as a returner of serve.
Serving 0.
You're aced on that second serve.
Well, Sean says he goes for those aces. He says, I might get a short ball every now and then, but I'm actually wanting to stay aggressive. He probably gets more crack second serves than anybody I've ever seen. That ball looked like it was 2 bounces from Moreno. Had a strange checkup.
That ball clipped the back wall and then the side wall. Luis adjusted to it.
Score here is 0-2. Luis Moreno wearing his yellow jersey. The winner of this tournament will actually earn a yellow jersey.
This could be the first time someone ever wins 2 yellow jerseys in just a singles-only tournament.
Yeah, that's right.
It's happened in tournaments where we've had singles and doubles and we've had guys slam, but Luis has already picked up a yellow jersey for winning the overall race championship.
3, serving 0.
And now he could pick up another. But right now it's Sean Lenning that looks really good.
I like that wide kill shot attempt. Look at Sean's underhand shots here. Sean and Luis play so similar, Dave, and look at that shot right there from Sean Lenning. The crowd's going to do this every single time. A lot of energy here at Show Court Central.
4, serving 0.
I'm not sure, Dave, that I agree with you necessarily that they play so similarly. Sean goes for more kills, and of course, as I say that, Luis finds the bottom board, but Sean's more offensive, I believe. Luis Moreno likes to drive the ball with a lot of hop.
4.
I'm just saying more or less, the way they stand and hit the ball, that underhand stroke, not a lot of players will stand flat-footed and hit the ball on the way up. Both of them can do it. And as they're trading back and forth, it looks so similar to one another. Underhand shot, underhand side arc swag. You know, you're just not seeing a lot of players do this side to side right in the middle of the court.
4, serving 1.
I think Luis Moreno adopted a lot of the style that Sean has.
I agree with you.
And that's a quick point call from the referee, John Bike.
Luis has the majority of this crowd rooting for Sean. If Luis can
5,
harness
serving
that
1.
energy and use it in his favor, it could actually be to his advantage. Sometimes, though, Dave, you go into another guy's home court, it can be deflating. Teams play better at home for a reason. It's that six-man effect.
Point.
And Sean Lenning gets another point here. Luis should take a timeout. 6-1 is the score.
6 serving 1.
This is not the Sean Lenning we saw start the match against Nadia Alvarado.
Side out. One serving 6.
Amazing
Point.
shot from Luis there, Davis. Takes an over-the-top fist pass.
2 serving 6.
Light shot, Dave. Incredible shot from Luis Moreno.
Point.
Sean was able to get himself in a great position there as he got himself
3
back to the middle of the
serving
court,
6.
had a good look at that left-handed re-kill opportunity, but
Short.
missed it. Just like
Second
Fred
serve.
Lewis said, though, Dave, this is what it's all about. We've got the top 2 players in the world right now.
Replay.
These are the guys that really should be in this final. They've dominated this Race for 8 Pro Tour season,
3 serving 6.
combining for 6 of the 7 wins
Short.
between the two of them. Luis with 4, Sean with 2.
Second serve. Second serve.
That ball's not like it broke. Slapped the front wall. It's really
Replay.
quiet in the gallery right now.
3 serving 6. 2 serves, that's right.
Whoa, that almost hit. Luis, Sean didn't flinch though.
These guys, Dave, just have so much adrenaline going right now. They're hitting the ball so hard. We've seen these
Point.
guys play a lot, Dave. I'm not sure I've ever seen them hit the ball this hard.
Well, I believe that
4 serving
adrenaline comes
6.
from this amazing crowd we have right now. And the spectacle. Look at that hook that Luis puts on that ball. He hooks another one at Sean. He's going to dig this ball out, and look what he does with it. My gosh.
Brilliant shot from Luis Moreno. The revolving door flat kill right in front of Sean.
5
Took something
serving
off that,
6.
too.
I think he rolled it out of his hand and let the ball spin
Point.
out.
Well, these great players, Dave, are able to take that
Okay, we have
revolving door
Sean
shot.
Lenning, 30-second timeout.
We'll take a quick instant replay. The last back wall kill from Luis
Score is
Moreno, which
6
was
serving
before that
6.
last ace. But these great players, Dave, are able to take the spin coming off the sidewall and the back wall, let the ball roll through their hand. You don't have to hit it all that hard.
Well, we're not going to really see. I think Luis is going to be out of the view of the camera
15
here, down to the
seconds.
bottom left of this screen. Let's just see.
That's actually the ace serve that got Luis the last point before Sean called a 30-second timeout.
I think Sean could do a better job of court management or clock
Time.
management when he returns
6
the
serving
serve from
6.
Luis. I think he can stall a little longer to catch his breath instead of calling
Short.
timeouts.
But that's
I mean,
not
he
really
goes right
Sean's
over
style.
there.
He likes to play fast.
He does like to play fast, but Luis
Second
just got
serve.
5 fast points. Sean needs to break it up. He obviously took that 30-second to break momentum. But he can break momentum by turning his back and being awarded 10 seconds.
Point.
There's another point now for Luis Moreno, now up 7-6.
Luis
7
changed the
serving
pace there.
6.
Gave Sean an off-speed 2-wall serve, and Sean rushed his return. It's not a confident-looking swing.
Nice
Side
shot.
out.
Sean's going to get a round of applause every single time he hits a ball and either gets a side out or a point. So he knows
6
he always has
serving
that
7.
to motivate him.
Very difficult shot that Sean Lenning just made there to earn the side out.
I think one of the reasons why Sean won that pro stop in Los Angeles is because there were 40 junior handball players sitting in the front 2 rows, and they were clapping after every one of his shots. And I think he dug into that energy.
And Sean also did not have to play his nemesis this season, Luis Moreno, in LA. Luis eliminated there by Alan Garner.
Side out.
When Luis can extend on the ball, Dave, he's going to drill the ball with hop. That's what he was able to do there. The best play against Luis, a lot of
7
times,
serving
Dave, is
6.
right at his feet. He's so rangy, as we like to say.
Point.
Beautiful shot from Luis. He fought off a little bit of contact there, Dave, and maybe in the old school handball, that's an immediate hinder, but our referee,
8
recognizing
serving
that
6.
Luis had time to recover, allowed the play to continue.
Point.
Luis overhits that 2-wall pass, but Sean makes an error in the backcourt there. Sometimes, Dave, it's very difficult to sprint to the backcourt, stop,
9-6.
collect yourself, and then return that angled shot that's coming off the back wall.
Side out.
Now
Luis
Sean
on
Lenning
a
serving.
big run though right now, Dave. Has
8.
outscored Sean Lenning 9-1 here in the last 10
6,
points.
serving 9. Short. Second serve.
Sean Lenning has only been on the court.
Point.
Not a good miss there from Luis Moreno, but Sean Lenning has only been on the court, Dave, thus far in this event
7,
for
serving
1 hour
9.
and 41 minutes, including his matches
Short.
against Luis Cordova and Nadia Alvarado. That does not include the 17-minute nose break timeout.
Second serve.
That's only actual match
Okay.
time.
Wow, look at
Point.
that serve. That he had 2 in a row that almost slid. They were hit so hard.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Luis Moreno
Score is
telling the
8,
referee that he wants to
serving
get
9.
set before the serve is called.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Don't know what the stop and play was there.
Lenning serving. 8, serving 9. Point.
Double
Now-
bounce.
It's now Sean with 3 consecutive ace serves.
I don't know how
9,
Sean's able to
serving
get
9.
almost 3 bounces before he gets to the back wall. That's a kill shot, Dave. On a serve. Oh, and he
I
goes
know.
for that fadeaway tomahawk open hand slam into the right corner.
It's
We've
amazing.
seen him do it so many times in the past.
9, serving 9.
It's amazing watching the momentum change hands so often here with these 2 guys.
Point.
Sean wanted that ball right there. He skips it in. Luis now
10,
up 10 to
serving
9. That's a reverse. That ball stays up for Sean now. Luis has to run it down. He can't get it. Crowd loves it. That was an amazing shot right there, Dave Fink.
Luis disappointed with himself there. A huge setup. Tried to just drive it right past Sean, but Sean's got those amazing hands.
Okay, Luis is appealing his own serve. I called the serve good. Both agree. Call stands. 9,
Actually, Luis put
serving
a
10.
great shot on that ball to the right, to the left, excuse me, but he hopped it so much that Sean was able to catch up to it.
You didn't have a play there. It's a point.
I disagree
It
with
was
our referee
right on the
there.
wall. You had no play.
That ball is about
That was your
10
problem.
inches
then.
off the wall there. Definitely agree with Luis Moreno there, Dave. Thought that was an obvious screen.
10, serving 10.
Luis could have played off the back wall, but he had stopped.
Side up.
And Sean's missed that right corner now 5 times. Here's
Let's look at that replay.
10, serving 10.
we'll get back to live action here.
Long. Second serve. Replay. Yeah, absolutely.
Luis is screened
No.
there, but what else can he do with that shot, Dave? He's moving in,
10,
picking up a ball that's
serving
1 inch
10.
off the floor.
Well, he actually got it back, too.
I just don't think the screen had anything to do with the shot. That's an
Point.
inside-out pass from Luis Moreno. Beautiful shot.
Luis is feeling comfortable if he's doing the inside-out pass.
11, serving 10.
Normally he goes and pulls the ball across his body when he's feeling anxious.
Side up.
Amazing speed from Luis. Just one quick step, and he covered that shot from Sean Lenning. I thought when Sean hit that shot, Dave, that it was going to be an easy winner.
Timeout Lenning. That's your first full. 1 timeout left. 1 minute.
We'll see if we can cue up, Dave, that hinder call just a couple of points ago. See if the camera agrees with Luis Moreno, who thought he was screened there.
You are watching the WPH Simple Green Race for 8 Players Championship. From that angle, it looks like a screen to me. I mean, when it was live, I thought that Luis's his only play would be off the back wall, but I can see why he just didn't see it at all. I mean, he should be given the chance to see that, and it's no fault to Sean Lenning for being there, but the referee said specifically you had no play on that ball, which is obvious. He did have a play right there. and Luis still got a hand on it.
Unfortunate there for Luis, that call goes against him. This is the first time, Dave, that we've played best 2 out of 3 games, 15, 15, and 11 with traditional scoring. I really love this format, Dave, as a player and also as a webcaster and a fan. The games move along quickly, but they're fair, and they still keep the handball strategy intact of playing defense when you're returning serve.
I like the 3-minute timeouts between the games, but also the play on the court seems to get to the point a little quicker, and that is this 11-10 game we're seeing here. Sean Lenning now serving it. Luis now ties it up at 11. Crowd enjoys that quick timeout and then back into the court with a point.
We could very well be seeing an 11-9, 11-10 tiebreaker here.
I think there was a bad bounce there. Sean had to readjust somewhere. You can hear him actually say something after Luis hit that ball up toward the front wall. Almost as if to say, oh no, this is not what I was expecting here. Ball drifted. Sean calls a double bounce, and there is a point awarded to Luis Moreno. We're going to 15, breaker to 11.
And that's been one of the great strengths of Luis Moreno, is taking that overhit ceiling ball off the back wall and rolling it out. He's done that all
12,
season,
serving
Dave.
11.
It's been a very valuable weapon in his repertoire.
Point.
Oh, now it's 13 to 11.
Sean's a shot maker, Dave, and if you're Sean Lenning, you have to go for those shots because that's what makes him one of the greatest players
13,
in the
serving
game
11.
today.
That's why he's called the freak.
Luis passed up a big back wall setup there, Dave. That ball would have come right back to him off the back wall for an easy back wall
11,
setup
serving
opportunity.
13.
I think he just reacted to
Short.
it. Stuck his hand out there rather than
Second serve.
letting the ball come off the
See
back.
what he does here on the second serve. Goes for that crack and almost gets it. That ball's just squirrely and weird.
That actually looked like a tired play there from Sean Lenning. Did not want to chase that ball behind him. Tried to catch it
13,
before it
serving
clipped the
11.
side wall and was unable to.
And
Short.
Luis Moreno just doesn't get tired, so that'll never come into play.
Second serve.
Luis Moreno actually did look a little winded against the Dreamboat
Yeah,
in
but
the
that was
first
in the
round.
opening round. I think he had to work some of that, you know, the flight off and all that other stuff. And now, since then, he looks like the same old Luis Moreno.
Well, he uses the opening rounds at these pro stops to work out, get himself in condition.
Sean is so close with these kill shot attempts. He's just missing. Now Luis Moreno serving to
14,
win game number
point, serving
1.
11.
I'll be very interested to see the stats here, Dave.
Short.
I believe Sean Lenning has made 8 to 10 errors.
serve.
Luis Moreno has made 1 or 2.
There it is right there.
First game
Luis Moreno
Moreno,
takes game number 1,
15-11.
15 to 11. There will be
3
3-minute
minutes.
break here. And Luis, you can see he's all pumped up. This means a lot to Luis Moreno, who takes game number 1, 15 to 11. It's the Players' Championship, the Race for 8. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 1 minute. Stay here at racefor8.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
And we are back live for game number 2 coming up right around the corner. Earlier at this tournament, we talked to Luis Moreno and asked him about the sacrifices that he makes to be here at an event like this. And this is what Luis Moreno had to say.
You know, it's a pleasure to be able to come here and compete against all these really good athletes. You know, it's awesome to be able to play here. I was here about 5-6 years ago, you know, playing an exhibition match when I was about 15 or 16, and you know, it's definitely an honor to be able to compete and be able to, you know, have a chance at winning the event now. So, you know, it's an honor to be able to play here at the WAC and be a part of this competition.
That's Luis
you know, it's
Moreno, which is a great little interview that we had with all of the players. We also have Sean Lenning will be checking in with the same questions that we asked Luis Moreno. What, of course, the sacrifices that you make to be here. We'll do that at the first timeout option and see what Sean Lenning had to say to that very same question. This is game number 2. Luis Moreno a little late, get back into the court. Might be another timeout called in behalf of Luis. We saw this earlier in the semifinals where the referee, John Bike, gave...
Serving 0.
In that first game, Dave, it was Sean Lenning making 11 errors to Luis Moreno's 6.
John Bike called the score. He waits 10 seconds. If Luis Moreno's not in, there will be a timeout assessed to Luis Moreno.
Side out.
Luis Moreno just lost his serve. Now Sean Lenning's going to go in and serve.
Lenning to serve. Are you going to call a timeout? Timeout, Luis. That's your first 1 minute.
So Luis Moreno loses the serve. This is the second time this has happened in the tournament. He loses his serve. Sean Lenning now gets to serve first for 2 consecutive games.
I don't like this at all because there's not a liaison in that hallway telling the player that it's time to come in. They don't hear that. And that's what I don't like about this rule. I don't like jeopardizing the outcome of these matches because Luis Moreno doesn't have an internal clock that tells him to be in the court in 3 minutes.
Well, he has a sweatband, he has a towel in his bag, and he prepares for other things that happen, like an extra set of gloves. Why doesn't he have a watch or a clock in his bag? There's
Lenning
a clock
serving
right outside
0,
that
serving
court.
0.
He could also keep the court door open. Went down there and specifically got a towel to
Replay.
keep that door open so he can hear the announcements. I do actually like the rule.
I think if you have someone
0,
that's
serving
telling
0.
you and you can hear them, it's fine. But
well, he's standing 1 foot away from that door.
not necessarily. Some guys put their bag down a ways from the door.
Thank you. Point.
It's very cramped down there in that
Just,
hallway.
to me, that sounds like an excuse. I'm not following you. Sorry, that
1,
just sounds like an
serving
excuse.
0.
This is a major tournament here. You're not ready for your match, you lose your timeouts. You lose your serves. Sean Lenning was ready. He was standing there. He knew what the game was.
Point.
And Sean Lenning gets another point here. This happened twice to Luis already in this tournament, in fact.
It also happened to Andy Nett, who was
2,
Luis's
serving
opponent,
0.
coming in late for the tiebreaker.
Well, they're both late, and they both weren't assessed because you can't really assess 2 people
Point.
for being late. And John Bike was the referee for that one as well.
3,
Not just Andy, but
serving
Luis.
0.
That makes 3 times for Luis in this tournament in 3 rounds of play.
Side out.
That was a strange play altogether. Sean Lenning now flipping that ball over to Luis.
0, serving 3.
I believe Luis Moreno plays his best handball when he gets a little bit aggravated. I've seen Luis step up his game, Dave, when he feels slighted by the referee.
0, serving 3.
Well, I know for a fact that I wouldn't want to be.
Beautiful shot from Sean Lenning. Was patient with that right corner kill.
3, serving 0. Point.
There's an inside-out kill pass from Sean, and now it's Sean, much like
4, serving 0.
in the second game against Nadia Alvarado in his semifinal match, just
Point.
on fire, dominating play here. Would this have happened if Luis Moreno was allowed to serve first like he was supposed to? We'll never know.
5, serving 0. Short.
Score here is 5-0. We're
Second
only going to
serve.
15.
this is just batting practice now for Sean Lenning. Luis Moreno unable to take Sean out of the front court.
Full timeout. Timeout Moreno, 1 minute. Second full timeout. Score is 6-0.
This is his second timeout, and this time Luis just staying on the court. Score 6-0 here in game number 2 after Luis Moreno defeats Sean Lenning in game number 1, 15-11. You're watching the WPH Simple Green Race for 8 Players Championship. That yellow jersey that Luis is wearing right now was awarded to him earlier today when he won the actual Players Championship. Now there's a pro stop that he's trying to also win to get double the money, double the award, so to speak.
Well, about 8 minutes ago, Dave, it seemed like Luis was on his way to the Slam, the race season championship and the Players Championship. Sean looked a little bit out of sorts to finish that first game. And now it's Sean Lenning who's completely dialed in. There's a shot of our statistician, also number 9 ranked pro in the world, Chip Morales.
6, serving 0. Side out.
And I guess you'd say that that was a good timeout as Luis comes out of the timeout and hits a 3-inch high left-hand service return kill. Thought that serve might have been short. We'll see if Sean appeals it or if Luis does.
That ball does not make the front wall. Luis might appeal this though, and he doesn't.
6, serving 0.
Score is 6-0. Scoreboard powered by Zions, and Luis going the wrong way, but Sean clipped the wall. And Sean Lenning had a free point there, but he just happened to clip the wall. If he would get that ball on the ground first, he would have had his 7th point. 0-6 score here.
Point.
Now Luis off the schneid. Remember in that first game, Luis put together
about the same time, in fact.
That's right. Sean just does not hit
At
that.
the replay, he almost got it. Replay.
I don't agree with
his hand
that
on
call.
it.
I absolutely do.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the instant replay there, but I definitely thought that
1, serving 6.
it was a good shot for Luis.
Guess it doesn't really matter
Second
now.
serve.
Second serve.
Well, it matters to me.
Sean overhit that ball. Luis is standing right there. If Sean doesn't overhit it into that side wall, he actually probably gets that 2-wall pass side out.
And we are actually going to queue up that instant replay for the point after this.
Can't wait to see it.
2, serving 6.
2 serve 6.
Now it's Luis going to a soft serve.
Replay.
I like soft serve at Dairy Queen.
What don't you like at Dairy Queen?
There's not one thing on the menu that I haven't tried. With a smile.
2, serving 6.
2 serve 6.
Short. Second serve. Point.
Sean Lenning with an amazing return of serve here. And here's that hinder call, Dave, that
3, serving 6.
ball hopped away from Sean.
Still got a hand on it, just wasn't able to see it.
He's just not getting enough reverse on that serve. Now it's Sean with a good opportunity.
Side out. Six, serving 3.
That'll fire up this crowd. Sean Lenning going down to one knee, punch fisting a re-kill there. Now these guys having a little chat there in the back court, Dave. I'm not sure what
7, serving 3.
they would have been talking about there.
Short. Second serve.
That ball sounds like, I don't know how these balls are not breaking on every single shot here, Dave. 2 of the hardest hitters in the game, and minus
3,
Paul Brady.
7.
You've got two of the top 3 hardest hitters in the game here.
Point.
That ball was short, wasn't it?
No, that ball
Are
was
you
over
peeling
the
the
line.
serve?
I saw it short.
Okay.
Four, serving 7.
I guess it was appealed, but I didn't hear the conclusion of how that went.
Side out.
Very tough shot. Sean Lenning pinching that corner a couple feet high and then just runs away from Luis. Good shot from Sean Lenning.
7,
Takes a
serving
lot
4.
of power to blast that ball past your opponent using the corner.
Side out.
And then Luis hops that ball in the middle of the rally.
That was a little bit of an erratic bounce off of the window there in the front wall, just enough to
4,
jump away from
serving
Sean
7.
Lenning.
Point.
Amazing serve, but Luis has shown us a number of different serves already during this
5,
match,
serving
Dave.
7.
We've seen the power serve down the left and right, the crack serves, the 2-all serves, and also the
Point.
soft lob serve. And this is exactly the point in game number 1 where Luis Moreno built that lead
6, serving 7.
and held off Sean Lenning.
Surprised Sean hasn't taken a timeout here. As
Oh,
Luis
it-
is feeling very
Come on,
comfortable.
guys.
Sean just took one in the side of the head.
No, it's too fast. Too fast. It's not avoidable. Too fast.
I disagree with John there, and I think it wasn't avoidable.
I
That was either an avoidable or a no call here. Watch this here, Dave.
Well, I don't know how you
But
can
I'm
say
in
it's a no
charge.
call.
Look at how Luis moved right back into him there. And Sean did have the shot. He had court
It
positioning.
happened too fast. No, you didn't hit a good shot anyway.
Ooh, that was a bad call from the referee.
Terrible
Just-
call.
I'm talking about his last comment that you didn't hit a good shot anyway. It's hard to hit a shot when you have an elbow to the face.
What we can't see and hear there, Dave, is John had called hinder before the contact. So I think Luis had just moved himself back into the court. The point was over because he'd called a hinder. But regardless, that's a shot that Sean Lenning should take. And you're
Oh, I
right,
see what you're
Dave.
saying. Okay, I see. You should either no call it or I understand what you're saying now.
But Luis wouldn't have moved back into
Score
him,
is
but he
6,
heard the hinder
serving
call and just
7.
stopped playing. Regardless, though, that was a shot that Sean Lenning wants, and it didn't happen too fast.
Wow,
Great get.
I don't know how Sean's able to get these balls back.
Point.
Luis flattens that out on the side wall and now gets another point. Luis, I believe, is in the lead 8-7. I might be wrong.
7-7.
7, serving 7.
Okay.
We've seen sometimes Sean Dave get a little bit down on himself when he gets a bad call like that.
Point.
We'll see if he can regroup here.
Timeout Lenning, your first 1 minute. Score is 8, serving 7.
But to go back to that previous call or wrong call or right call or whatever it was where there was congestion in the court there, I believe what happened was John called screen or hinder really quick before the hinder actually took place. He saw that there was going to be a collision, so he called it, and Luis lets up. Hinder called right there. Luis kind of just comes back into the play, and that's why you're saying maybe potentially Luis was coming back into the play.
We'll take one
because
more
of
look
that.
at this in slow motion. You wonder if this jars Sean's head just a little bit because there's a lot of contact. His neck snaps back here. He might have a slight concussion at this point, Dave, because when your head is violently thrown back like that, that can cause a little bit of swelling in your brain, and he may be a little bit discombobulated right now. That's almost like taking a punch to the head. His neck snapped back
Well,
there.
it looked brutal in slow motion.
I thought it looked brutal in regular motion. I saw his head go back there. I'm not sure if Sean has all of his faculties right now about him.
Well, he was smart enough to take a timeout. 8-7 is a score here.
Need a standing 8 count.
It's not over. Sean wants to win this for his local group. Sean's able to get that ball back. Now he's in charge of this rally. Luis off to the side, Sean in the middle. Oh, look at that left-handed stiletto tomahawk corner kill. Sean Lenning. Love that shot from Sean Lenning. He gets the side out. Now he's serving at 7-8. We're going to 15. Sean's trying to get there first to force a tiebreaker.
7, serving 8.
Amazing shot. Very low percentage, though.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's Sean Lenning.
Sean's got his own percentages, but even
Point.
for him,
And he does it again.
that's more in Sean Lenning's high percentage.
Maybe this discombobulation is
8,
actually helping
serving
Sean.
8.
8
Well,
to 8 altogether
he's
here.
been outscored 7-2 in the last 9 points. So
yeah, but he's outscoring 3-0 right now. He's going to feed off this crowd if they can keep their hands together for him. 9-8.
Short.
He's even hearing
Second
oohs and
serve.
ahs from the crowd on short balls. That's how much energy and support he has here in Washington.
Point.
And there's another point. Now 4 in a row for Sean Lenning.
that was a great pickup. An amazing paddle re-kill from Sean.
I don't know if you've seen it, but they have an award here
10, serving
that will
8.
be presented to the winner. And it is really, truly remarkable. I wish I had an image of it. That's a miss hit from Sean. It
Side
does
out.
not make the front wall. It's a side out now, 8-10.
8, serving 10.
Sean just jumped right back into the lead fairly quick here.
These guys are both offensive juggernauts.
Replay.
Sean Lenning threw up his hands before he hit that ball.
8, serving 10.
I just don't know if you're Sean Lenning that you want to go up against that great serve from Luis Moreno. You almost rather just take that half screen and go for the shot as opposed to resetting the action and having Luis go back into the server's box. We saw this with Nadi Alvarado and Sean
Second
Lenning.
serve.
Sean has such a powerful serve. Nadi was almost creating hinders when Sean was serving. And you just don't really want to do that with a power server.
Replay.
Sean goes for a on-the-rise kill off that right side wall. Very difficult to keep that ball down.
8, serving
But he's
10.
been able to do it throughout his whole career. Not consistently, but boy, on a stage like this crowd's going to go nuts if he makes one of those. Sean was thinking between his legs. He gets that ball to the front wall.
Replay.
And another replay. That's 4 consecutive replays.
You'll see the majority of replays called on fly kill shots when the ball comes right
8,
back at
serving
the
10.
hitter.
Well, Luis likes hitting the ball right down the middle. That ball hits Luis on the way toward the front wall. We're still here in game number 2. Luis serving at 8, Sean Lenning at 10. Sean trying to
Check
get
the
5
ball,
more
please.
points to force a tiebreaker.
8, serving 10. Point.
And a fist pump from Luis Moreno.
Yeah, you've used, yes, 1. 30-second timeout, Lenning.
So now
Scores
Sean will
9,
just
serving
have
10.
one more full timeout remaining for the rest of this game unless there's a glove change.
Which I can see actually creating itself here. Sean Lenning here in the second game looks like he's winded, but we've seen this before from Sean Lenning. Los Angeles Athletic Club against Alan Garner in the finals. He looked like he was
10
tired there
seconds.
as well.
Well,
And he
that was a
pulled it
little
out.
bit different, Dave, because Sean was up 20-11 and rally scoring to 25, completely exhausted, but he hung on to be able to win
9.
5 more rallies. Here, he's only in the middle of the second game. We'll have a full tiebreaker to play if he's able to
9,
close out this
serving
game.
10.
So if he's already tired now, David,
Short.
may not bode well for the Lenning camp, but
Second serve.
Sean could get that second wind at any time.
Well, Luis never gets tired, so. Oh, and
Wow.
Luis misses an underhand shot. He did not have to go with that either. He could have popped a fist down the wall or even floated one.
I thought that was the right shot
10,
for Luis
serving
Moreno. He
9.
makes that shot most of the time.
But even if he makes it, it could have been
I know.
another screen. I mean, Sean hits the ball into the ground on his next serve. At 10-9, Sean floors it. Now Moreno back
9,
serving again
serving 10.
at 9-10. Big setup for Sean Lenning. Luis flips his hand out.
The referee letting the play continue there.
And another miss hit from
Point.
Sean Lenning, now tied at 10.
I know, Dave, that you love watching Sean Lenning take these unorthodox shots on the rise, but if you were to actually chart them,
10,
Dave, he
serving
misses
10.
a lot more than he actually makes of those kind of circus
Green.
shots, freak shots, we'll call them.
Yeah, but the crowd loves it, and they're going to drive home
One
seeing some of the
screen.
best shots they've ever seen in their life. I'll take that legacy any day of the week. I like that shot there, too. Put Sean right back in the middle of the court, and he hits
Point.
another
That's
shot.
just such a beautiful shot from Luis Moreno there, Dave. That ball is angling off to Luis's right. He has enough strength to not only return the ball back to the front wall, but a two-wall pass to the left. Very difficult to do.
11,
Two-wall pass,
serving
but
10.
that pass part Seemed like the ball picked up some steam on that sidewall.
Now it's Sean hitting the 2-wall pass. Here's a big setup. Beautiful shot with the left hand from Sean Lenning, and that's that new and improved left hand from Sean Lenning, which he used exclusively for about 8 months when he hurt that right shoulder in 2010. His left hand now has become
11.
One of the best shots in the world.
10 to 11 here. Oh, and he had another open hand paddle, and he misses it. Luis Moreno back in the server's box. 11 to 10.
11.
Moreno wins the first one, 15 to 11. Sean's able to get that back to the front wall. Luis tees off. Sean still in this play.
That's the shot that Sean wants.
No, that's a side. No.
Nope, he's not going to get it. Side out.
Side out. It's a side out. The ball went to his right. No.
I think it's the right call. Total right call.
No,
Luis
you
Moreno
went,
put himself in the wrong
He hit
position
it
here,
clear
Dave.
He hit it clear of himself, and you ran into him.
I could not disagree more.
Watch this. Exactly what John Bike said. He hit it clear of himself, and Luis ran into Sean.
And you ran toward him.
Luis lost sight of the ball.
That's on you.
No.
Side out.
That's a terrible assessment there, Dave Fink. Luis Moreno jumps into Sean Lenning and tries to get a screen call, a hinder call. Come on.
Why would he want a hinder call on a ball like that? It's right down
I
the
don't
middle.
know.
It's an
He
easy
does
shot for him.
Well, if it's an easy shot, why didn't he take it?
He didn't see it. The ball crossed Sean Lenning's body. He just never saw the shot.
That's because he ran behind Sean and put him out of the way. Now we're back into the play here.
Replay.
Sean Lenning serving at 10 to 11.
This is like watching the pro stop match circa 1992.
10, serving 11.
So many replays. We haven't seen this on the Race for 8 Pro Tour, Dave.
Side out.
Shocking, Dave, to see Sean Lenning actually miss hitting so many balls. Just his not hitting a lot of these shots cleanly
11,
on his
serving
hand.
10.
Wow. Sean just went for that shot and got it.
One of the greatest shots of this event, maybe of the entire year. 40-foot flat rollout.
10, serving 11. Side out.
And Luis Moreno shows that he's got that same unbelievable shot-making ability.
How's the floor, Sean?
Luis Moreno now
11, serving 10.
just 4 points from the Triple Crown, Dave. The Players' Championship,
Point.
the Race Season Championship, and also the team title. He's like
12,
Secretariat.
serving 10.
Going for the Triple Crown. That was a good call. This might be appealed, but it was still a good call.
Second serve.
You just never know with this handball game who's going to win. He looks like, obviously, Moreno's got the
Replay.
comfort.
That's a good shot. But I understand. I called it quickly. I agree with you, but I already made the call.
I don't like that
12,
last call from
serving
John
10.
Bike.
Short. Second serve.
Oh, look at Sean, goes for that ball and gets it. Luis yelling at himself.
Luis had a huge setup there. Could have drove that ball right back at himself or back down the right, but he hit the ball right at Sean.
This is last full timeout, Lenning.
Let's
1
take
minute.
an instant
10,
replay.
serving
That
12.
last play,
And then
Luis got the weak return that he wanted, and instead of going for the kill, just drove the ball right at Sean Lenning, and Sean Lenning with those amazing hands, able to fist fly kill that 2-ball shot from Luis. I'm not sure if we'll have the ability to check that last play out.
Well, that's fine. If we don't, we take a quick look here. How Sean just pops that with a fist. Earlier this tournament, we talked to Sean Lenning about the sacrifices that he makes to get to a tournament like this. Sean Lenning, of course, has been touring around this Race for 8 season with us, and this is what Sean had to say to our cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy if I was a B player, I think. I mean, it is kind of, yeah, it's an honor to be invited, for sure, but I don't try not to define myself as a handball player. Like, I don't know, I'm more than that, really. I mean, it's cool and everything. I liked it when I was a C player playing with the old guys at my old club, so. I mean, I'm happy. It doesn't matter.
I think Sean Lenning's a little conflicted with himself on that answer there. You can see he kind of struggles going back and forth. He knows that he's good at the sport of handball, and he knows that he loves it, but he doesn't want to be defined by as a handball player, but he also respects the fact that people do respect him on the handball court, so he kind of going back with himself, trying to be humble.
That a catch-22.
He's trying to be humble about his response there. Sean Lenning talking about the sport of handball as we captured a little bit of his interview from earlier at this tournament. We have a sit down with Luis Moreno as well. In fact, it's a stand-up. We asked him about his support for handball, and we will have that interview coming up at the next opportunity. If there is an opportunity, that would be number 5 if you're back in the director's booth for Luis Moreno.
10, serving 12.
Score here is 10-12, 3 points away for Luis Moreno and
Side
Ashley
out.
Moeller to be on the court with these guys.
It just goes to show you, Dave, just how fine the line is between a good serve and
12,
a huge setup. That
serving
ball
10.
checks up just another inch and it's an ace. Instead, it's a huge setup for Luis.
Point.
And there it is. Luis Moreno now at the 13th point. That means Ashley Moeller is making her way down to that door. She could, within 30 seconds, maybe even have the match over with here.
This match could end with 2 swings
13, serving 10.
from Luis Moreno.
The point.
And it looked like Sean wanted a screen there, but he's lobbied to have that shot throughout this second game, and John Bike gave him the shot and he missed it.
14, match point, serving 10. Short.
Would have been difficult to predict, Dave, that Luis Moreno's
Second
most
serve.
difficult match would have been against Andy Nett. But this isn't over yet.
Well, it might be right here. Right here, I mean. This could be a setup for Sean Lenning. Ah, look at that shot. Crowd still loves it.
Luis had a couple of opportunities there, Dave. Unable to execute. Sean Lenning under pressure makes an amazing shot in the right corner.
10, serving
This
14.
could have been it right here, but we'll get back to the live action.
Short.
And just as it always is, Dave, when we're in an instant replay, short
Second
serve.
That ball hit Sean right on the side of the face. And now we're going to get 2 serves here. This crowd really
10,
willing
serving
Sean
14.
Lenning to get this last 5 points here.
Point.
And he gets 1 of the 5. We've seen stranger things in this handball world.
11, serving 14.
Sean 3 points away from tying it. Oh, and he gets another one. Now at 2
30
points
seconds.
away.
You have 30 seconds left. That's all you have left, yeah. 30 seconds.
I believe the
Scores
pressure
12,
now
14.
squarely on Luis Moreno, who served for the match, had a couple of shots to win the match, and now Sean Lenning back in the server's box on fire. Remember, Dave, in 2010 in Minneapolis, Luis Moreno had match point against Sean Lenning in the second game at 20-17. Sean Lenning came back to win that second game and then won the tiebreaker. So Sean is possibly drawing upon that match, knowing that he's done this before. Maybe he's just completely in the moment thinking about that.
Score is 12.
Next serve he's going to hit down the right wall
14.
right here.
And he did go for it, and he went for the crack too. And he's going to go for
Second
another
serve.
crack here. He doesn't care if he double faults. There's a crack. It slides just a bit. Sean paddles. Sean's still up
Side
there
out.
and is unable to get it. Side out.
That was a complete mishit from Luis Moreno, and Sean knows it. The ball came out so slowly.
Sean might have twisted his ankle here. If we look from that other camera angle from the back looking forward, we can see what he's pointing at. Let's see what happened here. He has those ankle problems. An ankle that he hurt.
Let's go back into live play, though. Luis Moreno about to serve for this championship.
That was an ankle
for the second time.
14, serving 12.
That he hurt in Detroit, facing Alan Garner at the DC returns. That is it right there, and Sean Lenning gets the side out. I thought he dipped it in.
Well, you meant that is it as far as that is another side out.
Yeah, that's it. I meant.
12, serving 14.
Sean Lenning hanging on by a thread right now.
Oh, and he might have, I thought he kind of get that ball as it flattens out.
The pressure now getting to the announcing team, or at least one of us.
12,
I knew he put in a
14.
wicked reverse on that ball, and Luis was able to dig it out. That's a tough shot right there.
Amazing
Side
shot
out.
from Luis. And you see how pumped up he is right now, Dave. He wants this.
That has to be a little intimidating. And then Sean, being very smart here, asked for the ball.
Well, he saw that it hit Luis's leg during the
14,
celebration.
serving 12.
Luis will go for the ace here.
He goes with the reverse usually on his ace serves, and he gets Sean out on his feet. Luis goes for the crack and misses it by a ½ inch. Unbelievable. You can't get any closer than that, Dave.
That was about the easiest setup Luis could
12,
ever hope for.
serving 14.
Sean did well just to return that serve.
Short.
Sean's upset with himself here for getting that short ball. He wants that one over because
Second
he's
serve.
cracking all of those short balls.
Sean goes to the ceiling here.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Here's a huge setup.
Point.
And Sean now at the 13th point. Look at the fans here. They don't know how to control themselves here courtside. We should put a camera right on those
13, serving 14.
those nervous fans. 13 to 14.
Short.
Oh, that's another one that would have been a great serve from Sean Lenning.
Second serve.
Boy, he almost got a crack there, Dave. Goes for the corner kill. Oh, and Sean misses his rollout to tie it at 14.
Sean just a little bit flat-footed there.
Yes,
Stood up
yeah.
a little
We have
bit
a
too
2-minute glove
straight.
change. They're wet. 2 minutes.
That's going to be a 2-minute glove change now with Luis Moreno being forced out of the court here now. Sean Lenning just missed serving to take this into a tiebreaker with that revolving door shot. Let's take an instant replay if we can.
Well, he would have
of
tied
that
the
last
score there
one.
at 14.
I know, serving to win the match, to take it to a tiebreaker, excuse me. If he would have got that and converted it, that was an amazing chain of events there. If we look at that very last one. Here's the whole serve and replay. Luis barely able to dig that ball out. This replay brought to you by Simple Green. Sean misses his kill shot into that corner that he's made all
This
tournament.
is a great get from Luis. Amazing agility. This, though, Dave, Sean's 11th air in this second game. Luis Moreno only with 5 airs. Sean Lenning does, however, have 12 kills. He needed that 13th kill right there, Dave, and he'd be serving to force a tiebreaker. Instead, it's Luis Moreno serving for the 3rd time now for this championship.
Sean Lenning made 11 errors in the first game as well, Dave. He's at 22 errors here. Luis Moreno made 6 errors in the first game, and you said in the second game he's made
Only 5 errors, but
11 total.
3 of those errors have been since he's been at match point. So 3 of those errors, Dave, in the last 5 rallies.
With 30 seconds left here on this 2-minute glove change, Luis Moreno will be serving here. Let's see if Sean Lenning can pull some more ice out of his veins here and get Luis Moreno out of the server's box. And if he does, this crowd is going to erupt. Sean was down 11 to 14. He's up 2 more points.
Moreno
Luis is serving to win
14, serving
this
13.
pro stop, 14 to 13. This is race stop number 8 in Seattle, Washington.
Short.
See what Luis does here on his second serve.
Second serve.
I
Gonna
haven't
go-
seen Luis stand over here for his second serve, but he goes with a lob.
And Sean gets the side out. Unbelievable.
Luis will have to be kicking himself. Hits a lob serve setup on match point to Sean Lenning.
13, serving 14.
See if Sean goes for that crack here on the first serve. Luis able to dig it out. Another setup for Sean. He plays so much better when he's relaxed like that. Here's one down to the knee. Sean punches it with a fist, and now he gets the 14th point. Sean Lenning serving to put this one into a tiebreaker.
The Lenning Lunatics love it, Dave, in Peanut Gallery.
14, serving 14.
The Lunatics got onto the subway, onto the monorail, and made their way out here. It's getting crazy in the stands right now, Dave. This could be a big setup for Sean. This could be it. Going to the breaker. Sean Lenning takes Luis Moreno to a breaker. He was down 11-14. Look at the crowd here. So much rumbling that our camera is moving back and forth.
It's actually erupted, Dave. The Lenning Lunatics are out of control. Luis Moreno serving for the match 3 times. The first 2 times, Dave, he skipped setups. The third time, he gave Sean a huge back wall setup on the second serve. Sean took care of it, and then he takes care of another setup in that right corner to take this second game and force the tiebreaker. What more could you ask for?
Well, I thought all of that rumbling and an excitement coming from the crowd was really just Mount St. Helens erupting, but let's look at Sean Lenning here with that setup. He goes for that corner kill, and it's a beautifully executed shot. Sean throws his hands up in the air. That replay brought to you by Owen Gloves, and now we have extra innings. We're going to go to 11. Whoever gets there first wins race stop number 8 here in Seattle, Washington. Sean Lenning forcing the tiebreaker, and you would have to say that this crowd is acting like the 6th man for Sean Lenning, Dave.
Sean Lenning is feeling the energy from this crowd. This crowd dug him out of a huge hole. Also a little bit of nerves from Luis Moreno helping to dig Sean Lenning out of that hole, but regardless, Dave, it's 11 points for all the marbles. The team title on the line. Also, the first ever Pro Players Champion will be crowned here at the Washington Athletic Club. Couldn't ask for a better venue, and you couldn't ask for a better match. The top 2 players in the world, 11 points to decide it all.
This is the WPH Simple Green Race for 8 as we are live in Seattle, Washington at the Washington Athletic Club. We have Ashley Moeller, who is out in the crowd with Darren Barr right now. Let's go to her really quickly during this timeout. Darren Barr, the athletic director. Ashley?
Darren, you're the athletic director here at the Washington Athletic Club. How would it feel for Sean to win this tiebreaker and bring the title to the club here?
I think a lot of the fans here at the WAC want to root Sean on, being the local guy from Shoreline, Washington, and being a WAC member here about 10 years ago. He's definitely the fan favorite here, as you can tell by the noise crowd each and every time he scores a point.
And how would you feel not only winning the singles, but also taking the team trophy here to the WAC?
Well, our handball club's been pushing that since day 1 and tournament 1, so no doubt about it. We see a privilege in having David Fink and Sean Lenning on our team, and we want that trophy here at the WAC.
All right, thanks, Darren. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much. Ashley Moeller catching the athletic director of the Washington Athletic Club. You hear people running in here yelling tiebreaker. It's an infectious atmosphere. I know, Dave, you haven't had this many people root for you before in your entire life collectively, but how would it feel if you ever did have this sort of this sort of pressure? Do you think that there's certain players that know how to feed off of this and use it as part of their energy, or some that might not necessarily like it?
Absolutely. I think it'd be impossible not to feed off of this energy. I've never felt this kind of electricity any handball event that I've ever seen. This crowd really gets behind their players. They're very educated. They clap for all good shots from both players, but when they're behind you, as they were for me, being fortunate enough to be a member of the Seattle WACs, and as they are for Sean, it gives you a huge boost. You always feel like you're in the match.
Regular, old school tiebreaker.
You heard Sean Lenning say it's a regular old school tiebreaker. That means 2 timeouts, no half timeouts. Luis Moreno gets the first serve. We're going to 11. We're back in.
0, serving 0.
Luis was 1 swing from winning this match. Now he's 11 points from winning this match.
Serving 0.
That was a quick side out there, too. This will be a big setup for Luis Moreno. Takes a little strange bad bounce in the back wall. Sean tracks it down.
The match really in Sean Lenning's hand right now, Dave. He's the guy making all the kills and all the errors.
I don't know how Sean's able to get that ball back, and I don't know how he underhand paddles that ball right in front of Luis like that. And now he's got the first point.
1, serving 0.
Amazing quickness there from Luis. Sean overhits the pass. You see Sean was completely convinced that Luis Moreno was going to go with his 2-wall shot. Sean put himself up in front of the foot fault line, but Luis drove it back down the right.
0, serving 1. Point.
And now it's Luis with 2 great shots in a row, Dave. A back wall rollout and then an ace serve.
1, serving 1.
I believe one of the announcers here, Dave, predicted
I called
an 11-9 or 11-10
both agree.
tiebreaker win for one of these 2 great players. Not going to name names, though.
But his first name rhymes with Avid.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
Well, it's good enough for me.
Point.
Sean Lenning with a terrible air there. A very easy shot for Sean Lenning. That's a shot that he makes 98 times out of 100.
Still a point. If you throw it, you nullified it. I know this rule. You skipped the ball in and then you threw it against the wall and now it's broken. You are. In my mind, you are. But anyway, I know the rule. You missed the shot and then you threw the ball. It's not a replay. I'll change the ball for you, but.
It's an unfortunate thing that just took place here, but it is part of the rule.
That's actually true. What
It's
Sean
true,
Lenning's
but
saying.
it also what John is saying is true as well.
We're out of balls, so we're going to need someone from the desk to get a new ball.
It's true with John saying if the ball's broken, a player cannot force a ball to break.
I know this rule, Sean. If you think it's broken, you toss it to me and I check.
See, Luis knows it's broken here, but Sean takes the ball and throws it against the wall. This is a real strange rule here, but if he needs to have John Bike inspect the ball, he can't throw it to the wall and break it even more than it is, because now the player actually breaks the ball. This is the right call. Unfortunately, you can see the reaction of Luis Moreno after that ball was hit. You can see he was frustrated because he knew it was broken as well.
Well, I'm not sure Luis did know it was broken. I think he was just trying to grab the ball to serve again.
No, I'm not sure. I think he's actually upset with himself. He's like, I made a good shot, and this ball's broken. Sean picked it up and threw it. Now watch Luis's face. And I'm telling you, Dave, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Luis was disappointed in that serve and knew that he got lucky there.
Sean takes this ball and looks at it. I'd like for the replay to go further so we can actually see where the ball breaks on the throw to the front wall.
Actually, John and Sean are both right. Sean said that on the tour we just do throw the ball to the front wall to double check, which is true. But John, by the letter of the law, is enforcing that if you do throw the ball, then it nullifies the last shot.
Here's where he threw the ball to the front
wall. That's a point, and the score is 2 serving 1.
I'm just glad, Dave, that this didn't happen at 10-10 in the tiebreaker.
Side out.
That has to be really frustrating here, but that is the rule.
But it's null at this point because Sean Lenning just won the replayed point, didn't cost him a point.
Side out.
Sean Lenning off balance there and mishits that shot, makes a slight hand error there.
2 serving 1.
Luis is really searching now for a serve that'll work. This time he goes with a Z serve.
Here's a big setup for Sean. I don't know how Luis is able to track those balls down. He almost got his hand on it. Luis trying to get a screen here.
Okay.
These young guys really trying to work their angles with John Bike.
I didn't think it affected anything. You guys should know by now, I'm generally sticking to my calls. I mean, you might be right, but no, I didn't make the call. I thought you had a play on it.
Luis tends to develop a sort of paranoia when matches get really close that he gets to everything.
He's thinking that there's contact right there before he goes out of camera angle. I don't see that at all. And that was a great pass from Sean Lenning.
The score is 1
what could you do with
2.
that other than the same play that he made on it?
It was an amazing pass.
I mean, he would have had to get down on his knees to try to dig that off the back wall. I think that's a good call from Pike. Back into more methodical play. That ball hits Luis on the way up. Sean Lenning says, nope, wouldn't have made it.
Wow. Luis really had no idea. That was a complete mishit from
2
Sean.
serving 1.
I heard the referee quietly say, wow, meaning that
Well, I knew it wasn't going to make it.
Well, Luis didn't know. The referee didn't know either because he wouldn't
I
have
was
said wow.
surprised by both of those guys.
There's another ball that Sean lackadaisically hits toward the front wall.
Just seems like Sean lacks the commitment on some of these shots, that being one of them.
Serving one.
For whatever reason, just seems like he doesn't believe in that shot.
All Sean has to do is make a kill shot here, and he gets the whole crowd behind him again. That sixth man comes back into play.
Second serve.
Sean maybe hurting just a little bit.
Beautiful technique there from the natural. Just let that ball come out in front of him, and we're going to take an instant replay of that last shot from Luis Moreno. Watch how cool and calm he is. It's an easy back wall setup, Dave, but as you know, when you've got a guy as fast as Sean Lenning, there's no such thing as an easy setup. Watch Luis let this ball come out in front of him here, and then just drive it straight down that right wall. Keeps very still, Dave, when he's hitting his best shots. He has a tendency to jerk his head around a little bit when he starts lifting balls. That time, though, his head very still. Kept his center of gravity really well there. And now he's got the 4-1 lead here in the tiebreaker. He also led 14-10 in the last game, just 1 point from winning this match.
Luis Moreno kicks that ball to the sidewall, flips it back to himself. Now back into the box here, representing the Idaho Spud team. Referee calls for the DJ to turn the music down. You can tell referee John Bike's getting old when he's chirping at the young guys to turn their music down.
Serving one.
Or maybe he just wanted the music to be turned off while these players compete for the biggest championship in the sport.
Oh, and Luis gets it. Sean is able to push it back, and that's a point for Luis Moreno.
Absolutely unbelievable. How does he get to that ball, Dave? And then not only get to it, but the ball rolls out right in front of Sean. Very unlucky for Sean Lenning there, Dave. We'll take an instant replay of that last shot. As Sean hit a brilliant shot here, Luis fading back, really had no play whatsoever.
Okay, watch this.
And that's just so unlucky for Sean Lenning there, Dave.
It is unlucky, but Sean, Luis,
I mean,
you know,
Luis
he gets
is
his
just
hand.
trying to flip that ball back into the court.
5, serving one.
This would show a lot of mental fortitude from Luis Moreno if he were able to come back from that devastating Game 2 loss where he had the match on his hand 3 times and win this tiebreaker. He's off to a great start, but we've seen from Sean Lenning, Dave, that resolve and will to win.
Short.
Well, we've seen Sean come back from bigger deficits. This isn't over, even though his body language makes it seem that way.
I don't understand that shot there from Sean. And Luis hits the exact same shot. And now it's Sean's turn to get a lucky break, Dave.
And now Sean's cramping up here, Dave. At the end of that rally, you see him take a step and almost fall down. I don't know if it's a calf or if he twisted his ankle earlier.
2, serving 5.
Score here at 2-5, and there's a short ball. That's frustrating for Sean. He wants to get that one just over the line. Let's see what he does here in second serve. Huge natural hook right there.
You might be right, Dave. Sean does not seem to be hitting the ball with the same kind of velocity.
Oh, and Sean makes a miss hit here. That could have given him the 3rd point. Now Moreno back serving again.
You watch that, and it looks like a terrible error, but you have to remember, Dave, that was the 25th shot of that rally. Sean Lenning was gassed trying to hit that back wall kill shot.
Oh, and Sean had Luis laying on the ground, and Luis scores a point here.
The floor is wet, Luis. You're going to have to take care of that. It's a point.
Sometimes when you have the most time to think and you've got your opponent completely out of position, it can be the most difficult shot because you're used to just reacting to the ball. You have only split seconds to decide. Now here, Sean has so much time, as you'll see here. Sean had about twice as much time, and I do see some potential cramping in Sean Lenning's legs at the end of that rally there, Dave.
Yep.
Score is 6, serving 2. Point.
Sean Lenning about a half a step slow right now, Dave. That's a ball that he normally gets to and punch, fist, re-kills. That time, though, just unable to get to that ball in time to do what he wanted to do with it.
Now the crowd trying to cheer him on, trying to get him to get some of that energy back here. Luis Moreno not only trying to win the Pro Stop, but also the team championship for the Idaho Spuds.
Replay.
I agree with John Bike there. Luis is 10 feet in front of Sean Lenning there. Basically just stood his ground.
It is frustrating when you just hit a ball straight to the front wall and you hit the guy serving, but Luis is standing right there. He's a server, standing in the middle of the court.
Point.
There's another point for Luis Moreno. Sean's letting this one slip away now. 8-2, we're going to 11.
The Lenning Lunatics trying to revive their hero.
Well, they've been really quiet here in this third game.
Point.
Now 9-2. This one's almost over with now for Sean Lenning.
I believe Sean Lenning is cramping a little bit right now, Dave. Just does not have any bend right now in his legs. He's trying to just arm all these shots. A lot of people think that Sean Lenning just hits all these shots with all arm when they watch him with that wristy swing. But in fact, Dave, he's actually using his lower body just as much as any player.
Side out.
Luis still moving as quickly, Dave, as he did in the first match of this event. Still has that spring in his step.
Serving 9.
Big setup here for Luis. Jams Sean and gets an even bigger setup and takes care of that.
Nine, serving 2.
Luis Moreno trying to win stop number 8.
Replay.
Boy, there's a lot of those replays. Sean hits that ball, follows in. I felt that Luis was a little close to Sean on his swing. Sean was unable to actually take the steps that he wanted to take. Luis not getting out of the way on that back wall shot. 9-2.
Short.
Luis has a huge natural hook right now.
Second serve. Point.
And now the writing is on the wall, Dave. Right underneath that Washington Athletic Club, they're actually etching in Luis Moreno Players Champion. That'll stay there for an entire year, Dave, on that front wall.
And it could be right here.
That's
and it is.
Moreno.
Luis Moreno takes down Sean Lenning to win the Players Championship, and the crowd loves it here courtside at the Washington Athletic Club, where Luis Moreno wins the first game 15-11. Close one in game number 2, 15-14 went to Sean Lenning, forces that tiebreaker, and then Moreno comes back and gets game number 3 by the score of 11-2. Hopefully we'll have a sideline reporter just pop her head into this court here, and that's what we got. Ashley Mueller going courtside now with Luis Moreno as a crowd standing on hand, standing room only. Let's go to Ashley right now.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Let's go to Ashley Mueller courtside right now with Luis Moreno.
Won the Players Championship. You've won the race for 8. How do you feel?
I feel very happy, but just a little bit tired. After a match like that, yeah, just exhausted. But I'm happy I was able to go through the entire tournament. Sean played really well there, but just missed a little too many shots, a little bit more than I did. So that's about it.
Well, you've been the outright most dominating person on the tour the entire season, and we know you say you only play once or twice a month, but your conditioning is superb, and your skill is obviously at the top of the game. What would you like to say to your crowd?
I just want to thank everyone for being here today and supporting Handball. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys can keep doing the same thing, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Luis Moreno, a true pro, Dave Vincent, and just as Luis Moreno said, Sean making a few more errors. He actually made a lot more than a few more errors. In fact, in the tiebreaker, Sean Lenning making 9 errors in an 11-point game. Luis Moreno making 0. That's why you see that lopsided 11-2 scoreline throughout the entire match. Luis Moreno only making 10 errors. Sean Lenning making 30 errors. So a big difference there, Dave, and that was, just as Luis Moreno mentioned, the difference in this match.
Well, that wraps up this Players Championship in Seattle, Washington, although our crew is going to go downstairs to floor number 1 and have a player presentation a victory party of sorts, a perpetual trophy, although this isn't going to be a traveling trophy. They're actually going to put a trophy, inscribe the name of Luis Moreno on this trophy. It'll be in the trophy case, a prestigious trophy room that they have here at the Washington Athletic Club, and that will be awarded hopefully on this live broadcast. We'll take about a 30-minute timeout, so just keep it tuned in. We'll also have this uploaded to our on-demand page a little later on, but we'll have a sort of a press conference post-game interview with Luis Moreno and Sean Lenning, plus some of the other players that have participated. The Elite Eight will all get their checks as we look at the final rankings here, Dave.
Well, at this point, Dave, I'm going to have to sign off. I want to thank you personally for all that you did for the Race for 8 Pro Tour. You and I combining with a lot of ideas, you doing a lot of the grunt work, you and I combining on a lot of the webcasting. We put together an incredible season, absolutely amazing. Luis Moreno is our champion, but the WPH and handball really won this season. So,
is this the last time that I'll see you?
You hope so, but there's a chance we may see each other in a couple of years.
In Ireland, possibly. Good luck with the pregnancy. I know your wife is due in a couple weeks, 10 days from now, May 29th is the due date, so congratulations on the soon-to-be born Henry Fink on May 29th, and obviously congratulations to your wife as well, and good luck to the family. Thank you for your hard work on this Race for 8 tour. I know you have to go catch a cab and go back to the airport. You're going to miss a presentation downstairs, but your good old buddy Dave Vincent will be there anchoring that show. I want to thank everybody for their patronage, their sponsorship, their benefactoring, their volunteer work, and of course the grunt work for making this a great, successful Race for 8 season. It started off in Idaho in October of 2011, and it just concluded pretty much the same way that it happened back then with with Luis Moreno taking stop number 1 and also taking stop number 8. Luis Moreno, not only the winner of this pro stop, but he's also the winner of the Players' Championship. He has the overall best scores, the best ranking position, which is number 1. Sean Lenning takes number 2. Luis Moreno earns himself another yellow jersey, and he closes out this 2011-12 Pro Handball Tour that we set up with Simple Green. Dave, I want to say thank you for your help. We're going to wrap it up for tonight and then be back tomorrow with more on-demand videos for those that are watching this broadcast live now. So if you've tuned in and you want to watch these matches one more time, we'll have that uploaded first thing tomorrow morning for you back at home. In about 30 minutes from now, we'll have the award presentation, the victory party down in the first floor of the Washington Athletic Club for everyone on the crew, to include Linda Manning, Jeff Kastner, Ben Garad, Chris Garad, Ashley Moeller, Chip Morales, John Bike, broadcast partner here, Dave Fink, as well as Lolita De Vincent and Linda Manning. If I have missed somebody, please point them out. Fred Lewis did some great introductions there. My name is Dave Vincent. You have a great night. Thanks for tuning in to racefor8.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.